Let's turn this Juniper Ridge Fire Opal into a D20.
I had to order a new index wheel to do this little thing, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a D20 out of some real gemstone. Now I know there's some gemstone dice sets online. If you look at the price, if they're usually so cheap or whatever, they're usually not genuine, or at least not suitable quality gemstones. But today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Juniper Ridge Fire Opal to try to do our D20. So the first step is we have to get a suitable size piece of rough onto a dop. And this is why I say that most of the stuff you see out there, so whenever you see them real cheap, they're either using cheap overseas labor or very, very cheap gemstones, like got cracks all through them, things like that. Not good quality, or they're fake, or you may very well get all three in one. So like I said, we're gonna do a real set, or at least a real D20, see how this goes, and maybe make a real set, who knows. But this right here, this Juniper Ridge Fire Opal, I think for this one it may have been like $8 for that one. But we also have people who, know us and know that we kind of just cut for fun sometimes. And if it's that, I'll go, hey, what do you got that I can pick up cheap? And this will be going to my wife. So if we start doing these and my wife starts selling them, what we'll do is get the good stuff, I've also thought it'd be kind of cool to maybe do some D20 rings. Let's go ahead and get working on this thing here. The first step we've already done was glue it. We have the angle set. We have it on the index dial. It's set. So now we're going to cut with our 600 grit lap and preform this sucker and see if we can't get it looking nice and neat, at least somewhat. So let's get to it. Alright, so we have the form up here for the D20 right here. So now we're going to move to our higher grit laps, which is our 1200 grit. And we're going to start removing some of this rough cuts from it, getting it somewhat nice and clear. Here we are after the 1200 grit, and pretty shiny, not shiny enough. And we're going to move to the 8000 grit and get that going. Alright y'all, so we just got it done with the 50,000 grit. But look how beautiful that thing is going right through there. I mean, just a beautiful look. But now we got to go back to 90.20 and start cutting some of our sides here. Let's go ahead and get that worked on, and I'll show you after we're done cutting the rough stuff. So we just got the side done. What we have to do with the side, but the same process that we did with the top. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Then we can do a transfer over, repeat the process. All right, y'all, here we are. We got it all done on the side so far. So we got pretty much the pavilion side done. Looking pretty good so far. Now we just need to do the transfer. Once the transfer is done, we can start on the crown side. So let's get this transfer started. All right, so here we go. We're gonna put that in there. We're gonna tighten that down. Now, take this out. I'm gonna take it out the 80, so everything hopefully lines up fairly well. And there we go. We got this fit in to there. First I'm gonna try to sit it down in there, and it does seem to fit pretty well, so that's good. Now I need this right here, Loctite 480. Mix it up good. Use our happy little bonding agent. I'm just gonna fill that little reservoir there. All right, just to the top there. Lord willing, that should hold. There we go. Let's press down. It looks like it's all coming out pretty evenly, which that makes me really happy. I'm gonna make sure this is down nice and tight. And while it's down nice and tight, I'm actually gonna tighten it up. Now, why am I tightening it up after it's nice and tight down? Well, when the glue cures, it tends to raise or lower when it cures. So what we're doing whenever we do that is we make sure whenever the glue expands or cures the way it doesn't lift or move the stone out of alignment. And it just makes life easier for the most part. Makes life easier. So I think the only thing we need to do now is let that sit, let that cure. So now we got the fire opal transferred over to the opposite die. Now the only thing we need to do is start cutting again. And we're going to cut at the angle of 39.20, which was the angle that we left off on. So let's get to it. So we got part A done of the crown. Now I need to move the part B, and once we're done with that, we'll actually be done with the faceting part. So let's go ahead and finish with our faceting and get this off the dock. All right, here we are. It is done with the faceting part, at least. Looks pretty good if I do say so myself. Very beautiful opal. Juniper Ridge fire opal. But now what we need to do is we need to take this little thing out. So this is the Juniper Ridge fire opal all done. I think it looks great. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me what you think about this video. Also, I know this video is kind of all over the place. When I was doing this, the baby was a newborn, so I had to literally cut in between him sleeping and everything like that to get this done. So that's why it's all over the place, kind of jumping around. Also, We're working on some video editing techniques, some new stuff to make these videos even more entertaining for y'all to watch. So please stick around. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time.